Hey, what's up, guys? Miller Massacre 19 here. I reviewed a few games before, so I figured I'd do another one. I put a poll up and a whopping one person voted Manhunt game review, and all my friends are busy, and I got a bunch of beer, and it's the weekend. So let's review this awesome-ass game. The story of Manhunt is about a death row inmate named James Earl Cash, who is being sentenced to death by lethal injection, but after he gets injected, he wakes up because the poison used to kill him was replaced by a sedative. He wakes up to a voice telling him,
"You're not dead." Well, not yet, anyway. You're getting a second chance. Another throw of the dice. As far as the world is concerned, you died back in the chamber. Justice was served. James Earl Cash is rotting in hell. Hey, get a grip and calm down. You're probably suffering from shock, and I'm here to help. Pick up the ears. Put it on. Go on. That's better. Now only you can hear me. And that's the way you're gonna want it, because I'm your only way out of here. Hey, easy. Look, you've had an unexpected reprieve. Do exactly as I say, and I promise this will be over before the night is out.
This is where everything goes downhill for Cash. He is forced to be the star of a snuff film by the voice I talked about earlier, which is Lionel Starkweather, a former movie director turned snuff film director who forces Cash to kill all these different people in these gangs that are mostly paid off by Starkweather. Cash wipes out gangs like the Skins, the Innocents, the Hoods, the War Dogs, and the Smileys, while Starkweather is watching him and recording him through cameras you can see throughout different levels. During all this shit that goes on, Starkweather also involves Cash's family, and the mission strapped for Cash. Starkweather has Cash's family tied up by the War Dogs, and Cash has to take out the War Dogs, but every time he's spotted, they execute one of his family members, which is even more fucked up, because not only does Cash have to kill all these people, but now his family is now in harm's way. And just to make things even more personal, even if Cash is able to save them, Starkweather has them all executed anyway, which only just reinforces the fact that Cash has really found himself in a dark, fucked up situation. And even after Cash does all this killing and loses his family for Starkweather in a situation he never asked to be a part of, Starkweather turns on Cash and tries to have him ambushed and killed in the mission Kill the Rabbit, where he tells Cash to
follow the white rabbit.
And Cash kills a bunch of Smileys along the way, but then the guy in the rabbit suit leads Cash into an ambush where Starkweather says,
"You are a good leading man. The audience will love you. Don't expect any royalty checks where you're going."
And he tries to have Cash killed by the Smileys because he no longer has any use for Cash. But Cash survives. Starkweather then starts to use his other resources, like the leftover War Dogs, to take out Cash. In the mission, Divided They Fall, the War Dogs leader Ramirez acts cocky and gives Cash a chance to hide, instead of just killing him right on the spot like he should have.
"You like hide and seek? You like hide and fucking seek? Well, we're coming for you, asshole."
What's the matter, little boy?
Ready or not.
It's our turn now.
Run! Run!
Because of that, Cash kills the leftover War Dogs and Ramirez, and is picked up by a journalist that has evidence against Starkweather that she has to pick up at her apartment. Her and Cash drive as close as they can get to the apartment, but have to stop because there are cops that are paid off by Starkweather to stop Cash and the journalist and send them to him. Cash escorts the journalist to her apartment and kills all the cops in their way.
"Everything I need is in that box under the table."
"Good. Take it and get out of town.
"But you're not coming with me?"
I'm going to deal with Starkweather personally. Thank him for my second chance. You're my backup if I don't make it. Have a nice life."
And then Cash goes off on his own again and kills more cops on his way down to the subway, where he encounters more police and SWAT team members on his way to turn on the power, so he could take the train that leads him to a train yard, where he kills more SWAT and police, and eventually gets surrounded by them, but is saved and captured by a group of private military soldiers paid by Starkweather, known as Cerberus.
Put your fucking hands up! Shoot that cop killer son of a bitch!
And is brought to Starkweather's mansion. The one Cerberus soldier says turn off the camera so Starkweather doesn't see, and is about to kill Cash when they are distracted by the sound of a chainsaw-wielding maniac known as Pigsy.
"You know what? I don't give a fuck what Starkweather wants. Maybe today I kill you, maybe not. Kill the camera. What was that? Go check it out. Maybe it is your day. Shit! What the fuck is that?
Cash hides while this is going on and takes out all the Cerberus outside the mansion and makes his way to the cellar. When he gets there, the Cerberus leader orders his men to give him the key and shut off the elevator.
Have you locked the elevator? Nobody gets anywhere near Starkweather. Give me the key. Yes, sir. I want you to go down to the basement and turn off the motor. We can't be safe with these two bastards running around. We're on it, sir.
So Cash kills all the Cerberus in his way, turns on the elevator, kills the leader, gets the key, and takes the elevator up and is ambushed by Pigsy. Then Cash must hide for his life and slowly take out Pigsy by hiding and stabbing him with glass shards and wooden spikes. Until finally finishing him off by leading Pigsy to a fence on the ground that he breaks through and then tries to hang on, but Cash cuts his arms off while he's hanging off the ledge with his own chainsaw and sends him falling to his death. Then Cash tries to go through the door to Starkweather, but is chased by the leftover Cerberus soldiers protecting Starkweather. Cash takes him out with Pigsy's chainsaw before going up to Starkweather's room and chasing him with the chainsaw. Starkweather tries to shoot Cash with his last few bullets before getting his stomach cut open by Cash and having his guts spill out, and Cash puts the chainsaw through Starkweather's head and impaling it through his back.
I'm thinking. Cash, I made you!
Then the reporter is shown saying what happened to Starkweather, but not mentioning Cash's name.
Acclaimed movie maker Lionel Starkweather has been found dead today, along with several of his bodyguards, at his estate at the Wapona Hills residential district. In what investigators are calling a bloody vendetta, an unknown assailant infiltrated the compound, killing Starkweather, but more interestingly, leading police to the site of a snuff film ring being run from the estate's confines. Linked to this ring is Carcer City's own police chief, Gary Schaefer, whose lawyer stated that he intends to plead not guilty.
The game never explains what happens to Cash after the events of the story. In my opinion, the story of this game is simple, but it kept me interested the whole way through. I like it because of how dark it is and how unique of a game it is. You don't find a lot of games that are as sick and fucked up feeling as Manhunt, which is cool in my opinion. I think the gaming industry could use more games like this. It feels like the days of game developers taking chances on something new or risky is over, especially with Rockstar. Anyway, the story of this game is great, and the ending is satisfying after Starkweather puts Cash through all the shit he does in the story. The only complaint I have is you never find out what happens to Cash after the events of the game. And Manhunt 2 doesn't have anything to do with Cash, so maybe we'll never find out what happens to him. But anyway, the story's great. The gameplay of Manhunt is really good for the first half of the game. You use the shadows to hide, and you use weapons like glass shards, sickles, knives, wire, hammers, plastic bags, baseball bats, and more to execute the gangs or hunters you're hiding from. Each weapon has a white, yellow, and red execution, white being the least brutal, yellow being the second most brutal, and red being the most brutal.
You shitty two-timing!
This is a good mechanic to have because the executions don't get boring right away because there's 3 per weapon, so you're not seeing the same execution over and over again, which is good. The game also has lures that you can use to draw enemies to a certain area, like bricks, glass bottles, cans, and you can even hit the wall near you to try to draw enemies to your area, which is cool. All the stuff I just talked about is the good part of the gameplay. Now I'm going to talk about the bad, which is the gunplay. It's terrible, just like the old 3D era GTAs. It uses this annoying lock-on system that sucks, and it's just not fun to play with in my opinion. And once you get about halfway through the game, that's just about all you have to look forward to for the most part, is shooting. The stealth is mostly forgotten about, which is what I liked about the game. Anyway, other than the shitty shooting, the gameplay is fun. Another thing they did well in this game is make a bunch of memorable characters like Starkweather, Ramirez, Pigsy, the Tramp, and they also have memorable gangs like the Skins, the Innocents, the Smileys, the War Dogs, and more. This adds to the game because it doesn't feel like you're dealing with the same enemy every time. It would get boring if all you did was kill the same enemy all game. That's why I like that they have all the different characters and gangs that you remember long after you stop playing the game. Rockstar did a really good job with the atmosphere of this game. It feels very dark and fucked up. There's not any trace of happiness found in the game, which is good because it's a game about a guy who is forced to take part in a snuff film. There would be no happiness in that. And Rockstar did a good job with making the music very dark and also added to the immersion of the game by having a VHS glitch filter over the screen every time you execute a hunter. It makes you feel like you're actually being recorded for a snuff film. Anyway, I think Rockstar did a fantastic job with the atmosphere of this game. All the environments are very cool and different looking in this game, and also add to the horror atmosphere. In this game, pretty much all the areas are abandoned and dark, because the whole game takes place at night. You go to areas like a trailer park, a mall, a junkyard, a zoo, a graveyard, and that's only some of the areas. So if you're someone who gets bored with being in areas that all feel the same, this game's for you, because there's so many different areas, you won't get bored. Another thing that makes this game cool is that there are bonus levels, 4 of them that I know about. The first is hard as nails. You just try to kill as many hunters as you can until you die, so it's basically survival mode. The next is brawl game. You're fenced in and you have to survive as long as you can against 3 gangs. They fight you and each other, so it's kind of like hard as nails but with no stealth and more enemies. The next one is monkey see, monkey die. It's a level where you are given a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun, and you have to fight your way through the zoo that's infested with these monkey guys that also have shotguns. You basically just shoot your way through the zoo until you reach the exit. It's a pretty cool level. I wish they would have made it more stealth, though, and not just a shooting level. The last bonus mission is Time to Die. It's a mission where you have to kill all the hoods in the area in 10 minutes before their van arrives. That's a pretty fun mission. Other than that time limit you're on. Maybe some people like that, but I don't like to rush when I play. But that's the gimmick of the mission. That's why it's called Time to Die. I like that they have these bonus missions. It shows that they put the time in to really give the player some extra content that wasn't needed, but was just put in for fun. Those days are unfortunately over, though, because if this came out today, Rockstar would definitely make these bonus missions paid DLC, which I would, as usual, fucking hate. Okay, so in my opinion, Manhunt is really good when it comes to its story, memorable characters, stealth gameplay, environments, executions, and atmosphere, but falls flat when it comes to its gunplay, which makes the first half of the game really good and fun, and the second half fun sometimes, but mostly annoying due to the shitty shooting. But overall, in my opinion, Manhunt is a really fun game, and if I had to rate it out of 10, I would give it an 8. Alright guys, that was my review of Manhunt. I've been playing it for a while and wanted to make a review on it, so there it is. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments and tell me what kind of video I should do next. This has been Miller Massacre 19. I'll catch you guys later.